Here's what you get with this episode of The Nice Guys on Business.
Well, I will tell you this, that there is 0% chance that you will ever be 100% safe.
Okay.
And that's just life, you know? I mean, like when you think about physical security, even the president of the United States, the most protected person on earth, we've had presidents get assassinated.
Yeah.
So there's no way for you to ever be 100% safe.
The Nice Guys need your support. Please go to patreon.com/Nice Guys. And for as little as $2 a month, you can help them keep the lights on and get bonus content too. Now, on to the show for whatever it's worth. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Hey, Nice Guy community, welcome back. Today is Wednesday. You see, I'm speeding along already. Doug told me, slow down, take a chill. Adam Brewer, my name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. Today, CyberWise.com, Adam Brewer and his hair.
Yeah, wow. He does have some amazing hair. But I just have one word to say. I guess it's actually two words to say.
Yeah.
Human error.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Human error. I mean, that's the reason for most security breaches. Were you aware of that?
95% of security breaches involve human error, which I was not aware of until I looked on cyberwise.com.
I also want to say one other word. Can I say that one?
Sure.
Patreon. Yeah, if you have not contributed yet to Patreon, please make sure patreon.com/Nice Guys. You will see all of the amazing stuff that we did as our back recording over the weekend when we recorded these shows. You want to definitely check it out because you want to see Strickland tee off on somebody. There is no matter the level of security that you have standing by, you will not be able to stop Strickland from his rant.
But you only get that if you are a Patreon patron.
It was challenging, Strick.
Yeah,
you know it was.
It was definitely challenging. But you get all that free extra bonus stuff every single week. Our little pre-show talks. If you are just at least a $2 patron on Patreon, patreon.com/Nice Guys is all you need. And for $5 a month, you can be a part of the Slack group.
If you want to be a slacker, that would be. Are people that are on Slack, are they slackers?
I guess so. I don't know.
I mean, we had a slacker training program going on. All I wanted was Mar to help us with the slacker training.
Yeah.
I had no idea even how to get on Slacker, and she's just like, just turn on the app and just start typing. I'm like, it's fucking not working for me, Mar. It's not working for me, Mar.
It was a bit of a pain getting signed up.
Yeah, the sign up process, it was a little bit challenging.
Like, enter your email address and your password. Okay, I enter it. That's the wrong password. Well, that's because I don't have a fucking setup yet. Please enter the password. That's the wrong password. And then when it says, like, reset your password, they say, we didn't find your email anywhere. Well, no shit. I keep trying to tell you that.
Yeah, well, we
got to get the CEO of Slack on and tell him to stop slacking so much.
No, well, interestingly enough, Adam Brewer, who's on today's show, not that he has anything to do with Slack, at least I hope he doesn't have anything to do with Slack now that we've just completely trashed them. He explains that 95, what was that statistic?
95% of security breaches are human error. Like, we hear about all of the hacks, right? Like Russians that are coming in and like stealing thousands of credit card numbers. 95% of these are caused by human error. It's not that a company is not trying to be more secure.
And the issue really is not necessarily that we're making mistakes. The issue is the awareness factor. We basically have no awareness. I mean, think about it. 2015, just to give you a really stupid statistic, 2015, the number one worst password, guess what it was?
Password.
I think that was number 2, actually. I think the number 1 was 1234556.
Yeah, that would be bad too. Yeah.
So when you do something like that, you're doing nothing more than opening yourself up for some bot to come along and start figuring out your passwords. You know, they don't. It's not like somebody's going in there and just manually typing in your password. They probably have all sorts of like really hyper secure. Probably the hacker's security is probably higher than yours.
You know, the last couple times that I've signed on to something over the last couple of months and they've said, hey, we need a password, right? I have passwords that I use a capital letter, I use small letters, and I use numbers. And a number of them have said, sorry, that's a weak password. I'm like, I have capital letters and small letters and fucking numbers. None of them. I don't have my name. I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, anything consecutive. It's like, no, you got to have like symbols and fucking nonsense words and everything else to be a strong password nowadays.
Something else that's cool that Adam does is he helps you. We have, I go through my tools, tips, and tricks, which is now part of my blog, but I used his this week, and he explains how to set up a password that even you won't forget. And it will be extremely creative, a creative way. It's a mind hack into setting up your password. So today's show really, aside from the fact that Adam has some really cool hair, I mean, just check out his cover art. Just pause for a second and look at the cover art. Isn't it amazing?
If you're driving, please be careful. Don't do that.
No, that's okay. Just give it to the
passenger. You can look at it when you get to your job.
Yeah, or go get a donut. You know what? You don't even need. Just don't even go into work today. I called in sick for you.
Good call. Tell him the nice guy said it was okay to take the day off.
It was okay. Yeah. Hey guys, the nice guy said it was all right. I'm just.
If you're on your way to work right now, just turn right around right now.
Turn around. We actually sent them photos of you, so you actually don't have a job anymore. But it's fine because we got you unemployment also.
Hey, we can put a doctor's note up on the Facebook group.
That's right. Hey, we're
going to leave the name blank.
50,000 doctor notes.
No, we'll just leave the name blank. All right, and you write your own name in there. It'll be a doctor's note signed saying so and so is sick today.
Hey,
very
Strick.
Contagious. Shouldn't come in.
Hey, Strick.
Yeah.
We have an interview today.
Oh, okay. We better get to that. Hey, we are part of the C-Suite Radio Network, and you should definitely go check that out at what is the website?
C-suiteradio.com.
The dashes mess me up every time. Do you want to do the promise statement before we get to the interview?
Oh, yeah. The promise statement is, hold on a second, I got it here, to provide a learning experience that is entertaining and adds value to your life. We feel like we are leaning heavily towards adding some major value to your life. Over the last couple of weeks, we've done it. I think we have. I think we're going so heavy in the entertainment and in the learning experience and the value part. I think for the next couple of weeks, we're actually going to take it a little bit easy.
We'll give it a shot. We'll see. I mean, that would actually involve planning, which we're not really very good at, but we'll see what happens.
I'm holding in my hand all of this week's topics that we have covered so far, and the rest of the week's topics that we are going to cover. This is badass, man. I mean, we're
and how
really
is that
good.
different from any other week that we don't get to the topics that you write down?
It really it's no different. it's no different. This week though, I wrote all of my passwords, all my forms. So I know for sure that it's safe because I wrote them down. They're out of my head finally.
Good. Okay, well, let's get to the interview with Mr. Adam Brewer.
Today's guest, Adam Brewer, knows all about hacking, security breaches, and all of your secrets, including passwords and access to your private information. Wow, that is a scary thought. But the reality is this. Right now, there are ne'er-do-wells. Yes, that is right. I used the word ne'er-do-wells in an introduction. There are ne'er-do-wells out there that are attempting to steal all of your information. CyberWise, the company that Adam helped found, will share some of the solutions to security problems, stolen passwords, and talk to us about some better practices to keep our stuff safe and while we're online. Welcome to the Nice Guys on Business podcast, Adam.
Thank you very much, Doug. I'm super stoked to be here. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I heard you actually listened to a couple of episodes, and you still showed up on time, early actually for the podcast. Why is that?
It was actually that little E next to the rating or next to the show for the explicit content.
Well, you know what I have to say about that. Fuck yeah. No, totally right. Sorry. I hope you're the founder of your company, the co-founder. Well, wait, is he your boss or is he your co-founder? Because you can tell your co-founder to screw off, but you can't tell your boss to screw off.
I probably wouldn't say either to him.
Totally get it. So we'll keep it as clean as we need to in order to make make it through the end of the episode and him feeling like, yeah, I think I can promote this. I think I really can.
He's a cool cat. So he's understanding and open, and he's a man of today's world. So we're good.
Very cool. All right, so Adam, here's where we're going to start. Because the intro, it's a tough order to fill in trying to keep everybody's safe, all their information. There's so much technical stuff out there about security. How do we really know what to believe and what not to believe?
Man, yeah, I mean, you're right. This has become, like a phenomenon, a wormhole, a vortex, matrix, whatever you want to say about the subject. But cybersecurity in general, I think, that's been kind of the overall theme is everybody's just overloaded with all of these different horror stories and fear mongering and we're all going to die. The sky is falling.
Yeah, not quite that bad, but yeah, you're right. It seems like that.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's most of it is technically driven. It's spoken about through the voices of some really intelligent people that have devoted their lives to it, but on the technology side. And, my goal or my aim or hope is to kind of bridge that gap, because the business owners, they're not typically they're not just involved in technology and cyber awareness, cybersecurity every day. So, whereas I'm not as technical as those guys that have devoted their entire lives to the technology side, I'm a little more technically savvy and aware of what's going on than the business owners. So if I can bridge that gap, then that's what I want to do. And I think, the most important thing is just sifting through the information and understanding that there are some really, really simple things that we can do on a regular basis to make ourselves more secure. I think the general population is so overwhelmed with information that they're kind of in this fetal position, like in a bear attack, where they roll up in a ball and it's like, just be real still and hope it goes away.
Yeah, just complete, I don't want to say ignorance and ignoring the situation, but I think there's one word that keeps coming up repeatedly in a lot of your marketing materials and a lot of the things that I've heard from you and from others in your company, and the word is just awareness. I mean, that seems to be the one word that can really change it all. It may just be aware of what's going on around you, and you're 100% right about this fetal position thing. I mean, not the literal fetal position, but we just don't know what to do, so we do nothing as a result. And awareness is one of those things that can change it all. So, can you talk about that for a second?
Yeah, absolutely. I love analogies, which you might figure that out here in the next few minutes, but I liken it to, like, what is your business? What kind of car is your business? Is it an old beat up station wagon, that's on cinder blocks out in the yard that you're not worried about? Or is it, a Bentley or something of that nature? And I think most people would say it's a Bentley, and you're not going to get that car without getting your own driver's license. So you need to know how to drive that car and operate it so that you can take care of it the best as possible. And the same thing goes for your staff. You're not going to throw the keys to your car to somebody without their license. So getting the staff and yourself, your C-level executives, and whoever else is on board, running your business, helping you run your business and operate it, is getting them the training that they need. I think that's the most crucial component. It's kind of a one-step process that will help you with all of the tips that you need to know. And the tips are very, very simple. 90% of the data breaches are easily preventable with information that's out there right now.
Yeah, what's interesting about what you say is I was watching some of the videos that you have. I think you have this one specific video on your homepage that's a guy dressed up in a T-shirt that says human error, and the woman is dressed up in a T-shirt that says sound judgment. And he really does make it make complete sense of how stupid some of the things that we do. And I don't want to say stupid. We're just not thinking. Whether you're leaving a laptop on your desk at a coffee shop or your table at a coffee shop, even for 30 seconds, or you're going online at an airport and using the Wi-Fi codes that they have, or the Wi-Fi connection that they have there. It's just not thinking through some of the things, the common actions that we go through on a daily basis.
Totally.
Can you share some of the things? And I just named a couple of them, but are there some even more obvious things that we do on a regular basis that are like, I didn't even know that would be a cause of a potential breach of passwords or security for me?
Yeah, I mean, I think the number one that anybody would tell you is passwords. I mean, we're going to talk about passwords, I feel like, forever. It's like telling your kids to brush their teeth in the morning and they don't want to do it. So passwords is number one. I mean, the number one password used last year was 12345.
I saw that. I'm like, holy wow. They know my password. No, it's not my password, but it's true. I mean, people they really do, or they use password.
Yeah, totally.
So go ahead.
Like over 60% of cyber breaches involve some kind of weak password, recycled password. So people are using those really weak passwords, and they're using those on their work software and work accounts, and on their personal software, personal accounts. So when they're on, Facebook or wherever, from a personal standpoint, and that same password is used on one of their professional softwares, then they're likely to do something really silly on their personal because they're just a little more free and less conscious about or worried about a breach. They think that nobody's out to get them personally. So they find that password, and then now they have access to all their work passwords. So, that's probably the main thing is using strong passwords and not recycling them. I mean, if everybody could change that, it would significantly lower the amount of breaches that we see.
All right, so let's take it to the next level then. How do you change that? It sounds like it should be something as simple as just clicking and changing a password, and then just and not recycle the same passwords over and over again. But there's got to be. Is there a system that's in place? I mean, is that what CyberWise is all about, or is that one of the components or one of the features that CyberWise offers, or is that just a potential solution to what the issues are out there?
Well, it's not something that we offer at CyberWise. There are some material in our training that will address that issue. But, just some really simple tips are, obviously, like I said, not recycling those passwords. So have a unique password for every single site that you use, and, not using like your name and your birthday and your dog's name and when you got your dog, and really things that they can find from social media. If they wanted to stalk you out a little bit, they can access these items and then try those and gain access to your stuff. So, one of the things that we talk about regularly, or here's a couple of things. I'll give you three. One of them is using a passphrase. So create a random, unique sentence that you can remember, and then attach that account kind of to the end of it. So if it was like, dogs run, cats fly through rain, and then whatever that is at the end, and you space it and you punctuate it the same way that you would a sentence, and then you can attach what account that is to kind of towards the end, but use unique identifiers like that in each one of your passwords. So it's basically one really random, crazy long phrase that you can remember. What's a little bit easier than that, which I use, and it's kind of a common practice for people that are cybersecurity aware, is to use a password management software.
Yeah.
So, that's what I really recommend, because nowadays we're logged into so many different applications and so many different pieces of software and accounts that it's really just too much to have to manage all of that. So I would say, research password management tools and see the different features. You can get some really easy comparisons of what's out there and see which features matter to you and what will accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, and then get on board with one of those. They're extremely cheap, and the headache and heartache that it can save you from is well worth it.
Yeah.
The other one I would say, the last one is two-factor authentication. Everything's kind of going that route.
So talk about that for a second, because I think this is really interesting and how simple it is, but it's just allows you one additional step and layer of security.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's, you go to the website, you sign up for the two-factor authentication, select that in the options for security. And basically what it is you'll log in with your password, and it's going to, you'll register a device that it will send a special code to that you have to use to log in. So you log in with your password. Typically it's your cell phone. They'll send you a text message with a code on it, and you type in that code. Once you've entered your password, it's going to say enter the code that we sent you. And then you would enter that code from your cell phone into the field and log in. And it's one extra step. It takes an extra second or two, and the level of security that it gives you is extremely heightened, because someone would have to have your cell phone, access to your cell phone, in order for them to be able to get into that account. So it just, again, it's taking them from being able to get into your account from a distance to having to actually have your physical devices.
Yeah, the two-factor authentication is very cool. I started using it with a number. Anybody that is asking now, any company that I'm now signing up for now that requires a password, I'm starting to use that. I think Apple is one of them for my iTunes account, and I know my banks are starting to head in that direction too. And I'm looking just at my I don't know what it's called, like a password keeper. I have 44 different sites that I have passwords for. And I don't want to use the same password for all of them, so I switch them up all the time. And I love the I think it's called a randomizer. It actually will generate, or a password generator. It will randomly password or generate a password for me, which is this completely unique. If anybody can figure out that one, that's pretty
Seriously.
cool. So
Yeah.
aside from like the password thing, though, what are other areas? Because, okay, so let's say we get beyond that and just say, okay, it's not just the passwords that people are breaking into. Are people actually hacking into my account?
They are, but the main way that those attacks are coming are through phishing emails. I think it's like almost all like in the 90%. I hate percentages because statistics are so manipulative.
Yeah.
But almost all breaches that happen are happening through some sort of a phishing campaign. And phishing is where they'll send an email that looks like it's coming from somebody within the office, your CEO or a decision maker, somebody that you report to, and it's basically saying, "Hey, I need you to do this in order, for me." And so it could be anything from the CEO asking you to wire him money to, you need to change your password on Google because Google's been hacked.
Yeah. I've heard that one too.
Right. So clicking on that link, it'll take you to a page that looks exactly like whatever it's representing and asks you to reset your password. And once you do that, now they have access to your passwords. So, being aware of phishing is really unique because it's all based on social engineering. So, I say this all the time. What we're dealing with is not a technology problem as much as it is a human problem. And the hackers understand that it's way, way more complicated and difficult to hack the technology than it is to just get someone to give you their information.
and people are so willing. You get the email or the phone call from the quote unquote the IRS, and while it sounds like such a piece of shit scam that you're getting, on the outside looking in, when you're involved in it, I can remember getting a call from the IRS giving me what I felt was official information and being very authoritative in his tone. And I just said, you know what? If the IRS really wants me, they're not going to call me. They're going to send me a certified registered letter, or they're going to knock on my door.
No doubt.
With the handcuffs, by the way. I very rarely. I never want that visit. But come on, the IRS is going to call me. They wanted my bank account information on the phone. I'm like, come on, you've got to be kidding me.
I'll tell you something interesting that we've found. There was a study that was done on University of Illinois campus. It was a campus study where they took 300 USB drives, and they were booby-trapped USB drives for this study, and they dropped them all over the campus. And 50% of those USB drives were picked up and plugged in to somebody's computer, whoever picked it up. And what we learned about that is there's a couple of things. One, people are super curious. They see a USB drive, and they're like, I want to see what pictures are on this. Like, there's got to be something on there that I would love to see, or
right.
videos, or whatever the case may be. But the other one, and through our studies with our cyber awareness training, we found this to be true. Before the training, we kind of show a video based on this, and we ask a question. And it's all based on a found USB drive. Data in motion is what we call it. And what we learned is that most people's answer to what they would do with that USB drive was plug it in to find out who the owner was so they could return it. So you've got people that are really curious, and you've got people that are trying to do the right thing, and they just don't have the right information to understand that even though you're trying to do the right thing, you're putting yourself, your company, your business, your computer, everything at risk by doing that. So if they have the right information on what to do and what not to do, then we eliminate it, because there is a lot of times where it's not that they're trying to do anything malicious or they're just extremely careless. I mean, in a sense they are, but they're trying to do the right thing. So the key, again, like you said, is awareness. It's getting them the information on how to act and what to look for.
All right, so hold up. So can we play this through? Because I'm very curious what the answer is, and I don't know which way I'm going to go. It depends, I guess, who's asking the question. If somebody says, "What are you going to do with this USB drive?" Yeah, in my head, I'm thinking the first thing that popped up in my head is I want to get it back to the person that lost it, and that's very cool. I'd like to be able to do that. And then the second thing I thought was maybe there's some cool shit on there. I want to take a look and see what's there. So I'm kind of caught in both of those worlds. Under any circumstances, should I be putting it into my computer?
Never.
So what do you do? What do you do?
Depending on the environment that you're in, if you're at work, let's say, for example, and you find a USB drive, laying on someone's desk or on the ground or in the break room or whatever, I would take that to whoever your IT, your IT administrator or, the person that's in charge of the IT work, whether it be a firm that you're outsourcing from a third party or someone internally, but give that to them and don't plug that in or handle it at all. If you're out in public, it could go a couple of different ways. I mean, it just depends on how you see fit. I mean, there's one sense that you could take it and throw it away, but what if that person comes back and they say, I left it on that bench, I want to go grab it, but you're throwing it away so that no one else makes that mistake.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on a second though. What is, if it no matter what's on there, what is the harm? Since that is, now I'm looking at this USB drive, it doesn't have a radio frequency to get out to somebody. So what if I plug that into my computer? What could be happening?
Oh, well, it's storing files and all sorts of things on there. So, I mean, that USB, there are people that will upload or download, whichever way you look at it, malware programs into those USB drives.
And so that malware is now on the USB drive. If I plug it in, but open up the file that's on there, but I don't bring it over to my desktop, is that still potentially harmful to my computer?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you plug that in, yeah, I mean, it's a bad thing all the way around. So
under no circumstances, and again,
zero.
I'm just trying to understand it because I'm not a technical guy, and maybe many in the nice guy community are the same way that I am. It's like, well, what's the harm in plugging it in? I'm not going online with it. I'm not going to click on a link to open it, other than just open it on my. It's almost like looking at a book in the corner and just seeing that it's open and saying, well, I can see that there's words on it. It's okay, but you're saying there's so much shit that's inside that could potentially hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no instance ever, no scenario, no situation that you should ever pick up a USB drive that you see that you found that has been in a location that you don't know of and plug it into your computer. Never, ever, ever. How
do you know that you are, not just with that circumstance, how do you know when you are 100% safe with stuff? What are the signals? Is it the HTTPS when you're opening up a website, or could that even be tainted?
Well, I will tell you this, that there is 0% chance that you will ever be 100% safe.
Okay.
And that's just life, I mean, when you think about physical security, even the president of the United States, the most protected person on earth, we've had presidents get assassinated.
Yeah.
So there's no way for you to ever be 100% safe. And that's kind of what we want to do, is just change the culture. It's like, I use this analogy way too much and it wears me out that I use it so much, but it's like the front door on your house. You're not just going to put a lock on the handle, that little turny, cheap lock on the handle. You're going to put a deadbolt and you're going to put a latch or some kind of chain or something on there. And so basically each one of those would represent a layer of security. So you've got, security on your laptop, which we call endpoint protection, something that's physically on the device, a software that will check to see if something's on the computer itself or the, mobile phone or the smart or the tablet. But having that in place, having some kind of network security on the network that you're working on, those kind of things. So each lock is a layer of security, and that's what security is. It's layers. And the more of those layers that you have in place, the better chance you are of being the most protected you can be.
No, that's great. Definitely. I understand that a lot better. And as a matter of fact, one of the things that I was going to talk to you about was the analogy of people today, we're not going to sleep with our door wide open and inviting the outside world. And we have a door, we have a lock, we have a deadbolt, we have the things that we have. And you're right. Every different layer of security is one more action that we're doing to that door. I want to move for a second to an area of the show that we call tools, tips, and tricks. It sounds like CyberWise is the type of company that probably has some tools in place. So why don't we? I'm going to give you the easy in of just talking about CyberWise as a tool. So what is CyberWise and how can we use it?
So cyber awareness training has typically revolved around somebody really super technical, either coming to your office and giving you some really crappy breakfast food and some stale coffee for you to sit there and listen to them talk about something that they've been passionate their whole lives about that you wish they would stop talking about.
Yeah, it's so true. I've been in those. That's also the 401k meeting, just so you know.
Exactly. And that's just the way it's always been. We call it click and drool because it's kind of gone to this, this media format where you can access it from your computer or wherever you're at. And the click and drill method is just it's always generated around somebody really technical speaking on their level, trying to talk down to the people that have no idea what they're talking about. What we have done is we have brought it down to the audience's level. And as you saw with the human error guy and the sound judgment girl, we have developed the training so that it is engaging for the people that actually are taking the training and not for the people giving the training.
Yeah.
We want to cover these subjects and these topics, but we want to do it in a way that people can relate to, with characters that they see themselves in and in environments that they recognize, the work environment of today and not some guy standing up at a whiteboard. So, that's what CyberWise is. It is cyber awareness training that each employee that you sign up for will get an email. It's one video a month, so it's not beating you up with it.
Right.
It's not an hour-long meeting 6 months from now and then another one 6 months from now. It's literally less than 5-minute video. They're usually like around 2 or 3 minutes, and it's filmed in that kind of modern-day comedy where you've got a lot of the sarcasm and the dry sense of humor, stuff that people relate to. They see it commonly on TV. They pay attention to the one video. It'll ask them one question afterwards, and it's a thoughtful question, something you really have to think about the answer for. And then that's it. From the dashboard side of it, from the business operations perspective, it gives you the opportunity to see how they're engaging in the training. Are they watching the videos? Are they participating? Are they getting the questions right or wrong? And so from the employee perspective, they're really engaged. They love the videos. They're laughing. They understand it. The message is really comical, but when you're finished with it, you know exactly what the topic was and what the lesson is.
What's cool about those videos, again, Nice Guy Community, make sure you head over to, I think it's just, is it cyberwise.com? Is that what it is?
Cyberwise.com, yes.
Yeah, if you head over to cyberwise.com, you'll see right on the homepage, there's this two actors. Are they actors or they actually work for your company?
No, they're actors. They actually work for an improv company, and they are really hilarious.
They were so good. They're so good.
They're good.
Just a several-minute video that you can take a moment and listen to. Okay, we went through a whole bunch of. So we talk about the tool that it would be CyberWise. We went through a whole bunch of tips, but is there one solid tip that we can offer that we can say this is the go-to tip when it comes to understanding about security on your computer?
I think I'm going to go back. That's a tough question. I mean, it really is, because there's really not a silver bullet. But I would say, just being aware of what you're doing. We're in this culture where we have 100,000 different things going on at once, and we're not paying attention, and we're clicking, and we're doing this, and we're doing that. So I would say, aside from the training and getting the information you need, I would say, slow things down a little bit and pay attention to what you're doing.
No, that's
if you see something coming in, you actually look at what it is. You're not like, oh, this is a free cruise for 2, and then you go to the link and it's like goscrewyourself.com. You're like, wait a minute, I thought this was a link.
I got all your stuff now, sucker.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I would say is slow down and be aware, because that time that you think you're saving by jumping all over the place could wind up shutting you down for, a day, 2 days, a week, however long to fix that problem. Now, so sometimes accuracy is speed, where we think we're going super fast, but if we take our time and we do it right one time, the first time, then we're actually faster than we were if we just were all over the board.
No, I love it. I love it. The idea of just being aware, slow it down, be very, what's it called when you're, geez, I mean, I'm even blanking on the word myself. It's just when
cognizant?
You're, thank you. Yeah, be very aware. That's the same idea. Exactly. Thanks,
right,
Adam. Thanks, Adam. Every once in a while, I'll run into that little brain fart there. And how about like a life hack? This is a tough one because it's one of those things. It's almost like a trick that you're tricking yourself into. Well, I like your sentence thing. That might be a good hack also. Can we go with that one for a hack in which to utilize this tool?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really, I mean, it's something kind of newer that it's probably not newer that I say that, but it's something that's becoming more popular, I guess I should say, with passwords is, everybody's always been kind of accustomed to that name, number, and mix those up. But yeah, a sentence, I think that's a great hack. Create and literally writing it like you would the sentence with, spaces, capital letters, punctuation. If there's numbers and symbols in there, put those in there, and use those for passwords. Yeah, I think that's that's a great one. That one would really accomplish a lot if people were to adopt that process.
Agreed. All right, I need you to do me a favor for the next few questions. Just take off your CyberWise hat and put on your founder hat. The guy that's an entrepreneur at heart, because we do have a lot of entrepreneurs in our community. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Just take about 10 or 15 seconds to answer each one of these, and then we'll move on from there. So here comes question number 1. Be relatable, Adam. What do you suck at?
Oh man. I would say I suck at staying on one particular mission for anywhere longer than, say, a couple of months. I will get on something and I'll hyper-focus on it. Hyper-focus on it for a couple of months, and then I kind of get comfortable with it, and then I want to get rid of it. So staying committed to something that I've become confident in.
So I'm going to assume that CyberWise is more than 2 months old.
Actually, CyberWise we are in the middle of our 3rd month.
So have we run out? No.
Oh, no way. I haven't mastered this one. So this one I feel like is going to be one of those that lasts for a long time, because it's ever evolving and there's new information and there's new material. There's new problems to solve. So this one is kind of unique in the fact that it's ever evolving, creating problems which make me focus on those, which in turn it just keeps that cycle going.
Oh, and I think that the idea is extremely creative, and the way in which you teach cybersecurity is very, very creative and unique. And I think that it is one of those things that we just don't spend enough time in our fast-paced world, and especially how much time we spend in front of our computers. If we just need to invest a little bit more time in understanding why this is such an important subject to talk about.
Yeah, it's literally like if you watch one last cat video on social media and just flip one of these in there, just one per month, then you'll be in a better place.
All right, Adam, be transparent. When you first started going, how did you pay your bills?
Oh, man. I didn't.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, honestly, it was tough. It was transition. I leaned a lot on support from family and friends. That network of people that want to see me succeed. I really minimalized my life. Cut out the things that were extraneous or that were just total luxuries. I would say those 2 things, like taking a deep look into what is it that I really need, what is it that's making me super comfortable. And then, in the times that I needed my support system, I would reach out to them.
All right, be confident. What do you do as an entrepreneur and a founder as good as it gets?
Ooh, I would say building relationships, talking to people. I think that's my number one strength is connecting with people. I am one of those guys that has been through a lot of life, and so I look at both sides of the coin equally, and I try to understand where people are coming from, and so it's really easy for me to connect with people, and I would say that that's probably my biggest skill in life in general is being able to connect with people and build relationships.
All right. So as a business owner, put these into priority order. I'm going to give you 4 words. Just do your best to prioritize these. Employees, customers, products, and systems.
I'm going to say customers, employees, systems, products.
Okay. And why customers first? No wrong, no right. Just curious.
Well, I mean, without them, obviously, you can't. You don't have a business. So to me, I've always been service-oriented, and I think the best companies in the world, you'll notice a couple of traits from them. One, they go to their customers and seek criticism, actively seek it out. They'll actually sometimes pay to have people critique them. So I think that customers provide you with invaluable information on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong in order to grow your business and to be more successful. Employees, I'm a people person, so I put those 2 first. You can have the best product on earth and the best idea on earth and the best customers on earth, and if your employees are terrible, it's a done deal.
No, so I would totally agree.
Yeah, I would say, making sure that employees are happy, that they're passionate, that they're on the same page. That's number 2 for me. Systems. again, you can have the best product, the best everything, but if it is just a yard sale of a business, then it's going to be really tough for you to accomplish the mission that you're trying to accomplish. Things get lost. Productivity is at a minimum, and you can't be as efficient. And I think in turn that ultimately affects the employee happiness and the customer satisfaction. And then products. You see so many of the same products that are out there today. There's a lot of similar. You don't really see anything that's like, I've never seen that before in my life. I've never thought of that before in my life.
Yeah.
So, the product obviously has to be good. It has to be something that people need, something that people want. So you need that. But if you have all of the other things in place, then I think you can have a mediocre product. I see this all the time in technology where you've got a big company that has an idea and they've got all this money behind it and everything, but their systems and their employees, all of that's out of whack. And they get so distant from what they're actually doing. They're just throwing this product out there that the customer experience is really, really bad. And they'll typically go to maybe even a startup or somebody small where they can have more of that warm, fuzzy feeling and go with that solution. Sometimes it's not even it's an inferior product, but the experience is so much better that they're willing to tolerate that, and they can use the product to accomplish the mission they're trying to accomplish. But what they're really looking for is, that customer experience. I think, Amazon or Zappos, I think it is, their whole mission is, we're a customer service company that happens to sell shoes.
Yeah.
And I think, that's exactly the way that I feel. If you put customer service first, not saying the customer is always right, but being aware of what their wants and needs are and how to make them happy and what they're looking for, then I think you've got a really good foundation to do great things.
Well said. All right, we're going to move on to a couple of personal things now. If you had to pick a song title that represented your life, Adam, what would it be?
Man, I think, music is one of those things like, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite song? But I would say probably, I'm a big Motown guy, Marvin Gaye, for sure. But I would say probably Ain't No Mountain High Enough. It's kind of a two-part thing where, it's basically about, it's a love story, and I'm a huge lover. It's self-diagnosed, but so I love that portion of it. But also just in life, I've been through a lot, and I think everybody has their own mountains that they've had to climb. But it's kind of that story that nothing can keep you from what you're trying to accomplish, and if you have that mentality, which I try to maintain, then I think you're set up for success.
Keep going, man. I love it. Okay. Do you have your phone anywhere near you?
I do. Let me turn it on real quick. I turned it off because I'm so popular. I didn't want it blowing up on the show.
Now I understand. Hey, well, you'll know this one even as you're turning it on. Do you have an iPhone or something inferior?
I have an iPhone.
That's good. The newer one or older one, or what do you got?
I think I'm on the 6S or something. Yeah, so I'm like one generation behind.
That's the one I'm on. So yeah, I never need the latest and greatest of technology. I'm not the kind of guy that has to stand in line for a week in order to get my phone. Yeah. If you could go to your photo app for a second, did your phone did it boot on?
I'm on dial-up, I think. Hold on, it's
That's all right. You can go to your photo app if you have a moment. You don't have to actually get on the internet. And what is the last picture that you took?
The last picture I took is from a page in Tim Ferriss's new book, Tools for Titans.
Wait, I don't know who's Tim Ferriss. See, I don't know who that guy is. we joke around about Tim because Tim is the number one podcast on Overcast, and we are the number 2, and we just can't seem to push him aside. I think he must be so far ahead of us. Like, hey Tim, we're back here a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's a student of life the similar way that I am, just paying attention and being aware of yourself and being aware of your experiences and then being able to draw upon those, collecting that data. He does it in a more like physical manner and where he's actually taking that down. I do it in a more mental manner where I just file these pages back in my brain. But yeah, so I've been kind of reading some of his stuff, and that Tools of Titans was a gift I just recently received. And the page is actually his rapid fire questions. So
that's fun.
The 18 questions that he loves to use to stimulate conversation. And I just am a huge fan of great questions. And these ones that you're asking me right now, I love those because they make you think. They make you think internally, and they just make you think about, the actual question without just giving some kind of, pre-programmed answer.
Well, the soundbite answer is never a good answer for us. And, we know all about your company. We know that because you wouldn't be working for them or a founder or a guy that runs a company and put on to an interview unless you knew the answers to the questions. Some of the more personal questions, the people, I was confused in the beginning when we first started asking these questions. Should we ask them before we do the rest of the stuff so people can find out a little bit more about you? Or should we do the business stuff first and then find out the personal? And it just kind of flows better, I think, for us this way. Go to your texting app, and then we'll conclude here. And I know we have a special bonus for the nice guy community that is stuck with us and listened to the episode. What is the last text message you either sent or received?
The last text message was actually to a girl that I've been talking to for the past extended period of time.
Go back to the comment of he is a lover. Okay. Got it.
But it was actually, we're fairly new in the relationship. I mean, under a year, so I'll call that new. And I actually sent her what we're doing is going through those questions to kind of get to know each other because they're really thought-provoking. So one of those questions per day, and she'll come up with her answer by the end of the day, and I'll come up with mine. And then, when we're through all those questions, hopefully we have a better understanding because those are not typical questions.
Yeah,
so
nice.
That's
nice,
the last
man.
one.
Nice. All right. And that's very cool. And it's a great way to build a relationship too. If you can almost blame I didn't ask the question. It was Tim Ferriss asking the question. I'm just looking for
right.
the answer.
Yeah.
Now we do have an offer that we're going to provide to the nice guy community. So, I'm gonna see how we can figure out how to put this. Maybe we can edit this into the beginning of the show also, because I know our interview ran a little bit long, but I want to put it in here too. But in the event that somebody didn't hang out till the very end, we're going to throw it into the front. Somehow we'll do that.
Awesome.
But what is the offer that we're going to provide for CyberWise for our nice guy community?
So what we want to do is, from the time that the podcast airs for an entire month, any of these businesses that want to contact us, we're going to give them 5 free training licenses. So up to 5 members of their staff, themselves, their executive team, their actual employees behind the desk, whoever it is, the free training for an entire year.
Wow.
So we'll sign them up. We'll get them all set up and good to go. They just need to go to our landing page, which is cyberwise.com/nice guys.
Ooh.
And there'll be a form on there. They fill it out. We'll reach out to them and we'll get them all set up. So for a month after the podcast airs, we will give 5 free licenses for an entire year for anyone that contacts us via that landing page, cyberwise.com/nice guys.
That is awesome. And it's awesome because we actually are now included as a part of an extension of another company. So thank you.
Yeah.
And anytime we can do that, we love that. So thank you, Adam, so much for all your information and for being on the show today. We so very much appreciate it. Nice Guy community. We'll make sure we put all of the information in the show notes, how to reach out to Adam and how to get a hold of his information from CyberWise. So Adam, again, thanks for being a part of the show.
No, I appreciate that, and thank you to your listeners for tolerating me for this extended period of time, and thank you for having me. You're a great host. I appreciate it. I love the show.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, he actually, Nice Guy community, he's actually listening. He listens to our show now, so he's going to start to OD on the F-bomb and to all of our Funkin' fans and everybody else that's in the community. Thanks again, Adam.
Thank you.
Hey, Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice. Again, special thanks to Adam for being on the show. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Fill up your week with the Nice Guys. Haven't they run out of people willing to talk to them yet?